Brutal honesty, regardless of the consequences. So, roughly 5 years ago, I had a brief, uh, while I was with a woman, um, and yeah, she was pretty sort of interested in pursuing something serious. I really liked her. She was she ran ayahuasca ceremonies, so I guess she saw herself as a shaman of some sort, some description. Uh, yeah, and something seemed quite odd because we were together probably for about 2 or 3 weeks, if you would even say we were together. But in my mind, very quickly I realised that she was a really nasty person and she didn't like me. So I ended it, and then I realised that yeah, I'm probably just not suited to being with a woman. Uh, Definitely not with a man either. Don't get me wrong. So it's only women, but if I can't even anyway. So this is when the penny was starting to drop a bit for me that I'm not built to be in a relationship, and I wasn't sure at the time exactly, but something happened that sort of helped me to understand. And after we'd been apart for about a month or two, she came to me and said that she was pregnant. Now, the timing just didn't seem to match to me. She rushed us into being intimate, which I wasn't ready for. I'm a bit of a shy person, and especially with a new woman, and I would like to feel comfortable and know the woman first. Um, so, so yeah. Anyway, she came to me and said she's pregnant and we should be together. And I was like, well, she goes, what do you think? And I was like, well, we don't like each other. We don't get along. So whether you're pregnant or not, how's that? How's that? Nothing's you being pregnant won't change the fact that we don't like each other, or that we don't get along. It's we're miserable around each other. Okay, so she didn't really like that, didn't really accept it, but I was adamant, and so that was that. Then at the time, I was okay. It got started getting closer to when I knew the child was due, maybe a few months before the child was due, and I was still friends with her sister. Her sister is a really nice person, and um, yeah, I contacted her sister and I said, look, what's this, what do you think? Like, and she said, oh, look, she's a pretty stubborn girl, and like she's pretty angry with you for not wanting to be with her. So I was like, yeah, but I'm stressing out. I don't know how I'm going to cope with knowing I'm going to have a child and I'll never get to see the child and be part of that experience. So I contacted this girl via phone and left a voice message, and she got back to me and said, okay, come and see me. So I went and saw her, and she explained to me that yeah, you can be part of this experience. She said, but you'll always just be a sperm donor to me in my mind. You'll never ever get rights. You'll never have rights. And I said, well, you ever heard of something called the family court? And she just laughed and said, the family court's for women. So I'll have all the rights and you'll have nothing. So the family court backs. She'd obviously done it. She goes, I've done what she actually said. I've done my research. Oh, okay. I was like, interesting. So she said, look, this is how it's going to work. The child's due in 2 or 3 months. You will have to prove to me that you're worthy of being in this child's life, but you'll never have rights. You can pay me child support. You can help provide. You can help me with stuff, but that's it. Okay, so I was like, wow, I'm put in. She's got me over a barrel. So, all right. So, all right. Look, I agreed to that, and I jumped through all her hoops up until, and I was there for the birth of the child. Um, yeah, and then anyway, then I was helping. I was changing nappies. I was coming over every morning. She was sending me a list of things that I had to bring every day, and it was just an extensive, ridiculous amount of things. And I was running all over the place every morning, like a little puppy dog. Um, and after about 5 or 6 weeks, um, she started. It's a natural thing. Your mother sees a guy with her child and goes, oh, because I'm a good dad. I love babies. I've got two adult children and we're very close. And because I'm a very hands-on sort of dad, and just with anybody's kids really, just I prefer to hang out with the kids than the adults. Put it that way, adults. So anyway, after about 5 weeks, she tried to start being intimate with me, and I was just like, whoa, 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 like it's never going to be like that for me. And she goes, look, all right, this is the situation. We need to be in a sexual relationship, otherwise, you don't get to have anything to do with this child, and you've got a week to decide. Okay, so I went, oh, okay, well, rightio. Um, and so then I was like, damn, like that's I already knew that's just not happening. And I was driving along one day, and I think I was listening to a YouTube podcast, and there was some actor, I don't even remember who it was, but he'd had a reputation of being brutally honest, and he had a life philosophy which was brutal honesty, regardless of the consequences. And when I heard that line, it hit hard, and I was just like, that's it, that's it. I go around talking about how I believe in honesty, and I think I'm an honest person. So if I'm honest, I know what to say. And I was like, it was day 3 of the week that I had, and I just contacted this lady and I said, look, let's catch up. I've got an answer for you. She already knew the answer, and then when she just looked at my face when I arrived, she knew the answer even doubly. She was pretty pissy about it, but anyway, she said, all right, so what's the story? And I said, nah, it's not happening. I said, it's just ridiculous. We don't like each other. Um, you don't like me. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't like me. I would really love to be with a woman that liked me for once. Anyway, um, and she just smiled, and it was an evil smile. It was a smile of a true narcissist. It was the smile that drew me in, but it was the smile. Now I now saw the truth of that smile, and what was really behind it was a nasty, 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 vindictive person. And she said to me, "That's okay. You're going to pay for that." And she tried to make me pay for it. And so then, and during that time, during that 5 weeks that I'd been, or even a few months, I had a friend. See, I used to run mushroom ceremonies, um, and I consider myself a shaman. And I had a guy that I was working with one on one, and I considered him as a training ground for myself. Like I was using him to practice in a way, so I was giving him pretty much free service, using him as a guinea pig. And he was doing lots of mushroom sessions one on one with me. And there's a lot of trust. It's an intimate situation. You're very exposed when you do plant medicine. And he trusts me so much. And for some reason, he was married with kids. I have a feeling he was gay, but he started. Well, I have confirmation now that he was also having sex with men, these other men. Anyway, that's beside by the by. But so he was ringing me every morning for some reason, almost like I was his security blanket. Now, this girl was seeing him call me every morning and was getting jealous. And that was one of the catalysts. So, anyway, so I said, no, but I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help you. She said, okay. But then after about 2 days, she just cut it off. And she said one of the reasons was that I was cheating on her, even though we weren't together, with this guy. Guys look like piles of dog poo to me. Anyway, and he actually one of the first times he met me, he put his hand on my knee, and I said to him, "You better get your fucking hand off my knee, mate." And so he never ever tried to do anything like that again. And I should have been able to see that he was gay and he was into it. But anyway, she thought that we were, or whether she thought or not. Then she was somehow friends with my sister on Facebook, contacted my sister and texted my sister and said that I hate her, I hate everyone in my family. Made up all this nasty stuff about things I'd said about my family, and which they believed, and then said that I was gay and I was in a relationship with this guy and blah 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 blah. So now I'm pretty sure anyway, whatever, like they can think what they want, but yeah, but I knew that the consequences were going to be pretty interesting, and as it turns out, the child isn't mine. So, and the stress and the misery I went through was disgusting. However, I still believe that I did the right thing by being honest. Okay, and one of the points I'm getting at is for myself is that I'm trying to start this channel and call it Pineal Glen, um, with the understanding that the pineal gland is a frequency, and its baseline is a frequency of truth. You'll get handed the truth on a silver platter if you clean and activate and explore the world that is available to you through that portal of the pineal gland, and well, it could be the optic thalamus that's helping with that as well. We don't really, I guess they're not really telling us. I think the Egyptians and the rulers know, but we'll have to theorize. So that was my first real hardcore experience of brutal honesty, regardless of the consequences, and it has actually served me really well. The stress was difficult. I don't think I've ever been that stressed of being denied access to a child that I thought was mine. And I paid her child support for a year or two. Recently, she tried to claim child support from me, and her claim was rejected because I'm not the father. I even tried to get a DNA sample, which was she wouldn't let me. Funnily enough, she's best friends with a guy who I found them to be quite inappropriately close, and they had been going away together just before myself and her had sex, and the child looks eerily like this guy. Interesting. So yeah, I think they call it baby. What do you call it? Baby trapping. She tried to baby trap me. Um, so so anyway, I was starting this channel and I was trying to, I've got about 90 episode ideas written, and I'll go through, and like today's one was meant to be meditation versus stimulation. That was what I came up with. But then I realized that's not my truth. I'm not being brutally honest. So just be brutally honest. And including when I get on this camera and and it's going to be more, whether people watch it or not, at least I'm going to feel authentic about what I'm doing. But then, even if you want to strip it back even more, as a person, which is persona, when persona is an act, even when I'm being authentic as I feel that I can be, really at the end of the day, it's still an act. Fundamentally, it's all still an act. But I can try it still, and that idea of fully expressing yourself as a human being, and what is it that this is all about? It's a search for the truth. Like, say, Bobby Fischer, my favourite chess player, I love chess. He was on a plane after he'd been released from prison for, he was brutally honest. And so that caused him to be banned from America. So he'd been deported. He ended up in a Japanese prison, and he was rescued by the Icelandic government because that's where he'd won his world championship, and they had a fondness for him. So they got him, and he was on his plane on the plane from Japan to Iceland. Was it Iceland? Reykjavik, wherever that. I think it's Iceland. And they were asking him about chess, and he was like, "Oh, I don't like chess anymore." He said, "Let's just break it down. What is chess? It's a search for the truth." That's fundamentally what everything is, right? So if we're searching for the truth, that means that we're searching for the truest expression of what we understand truth to be, or what anything is. So everything in essence is a search for the truth. I think it says there's a quote in the Bible, seek the truth and all will be revealed. So how brutally honest are you? How brutally honest can you be? How brutally honest can I be? Right now, doing this talk, this is the most honest I've been in front of this camera, and this is how I intend to carry on now, is just being honest. Brutally honest. And I'll never probably be able to be fully as honest as I wish to be. But that's okay. That's okay. And I do seek the truth. And the question is, are you seeking the truth? Are you even interested in the truth? Can you even recognize the truth? Or truth? Not the truth, truth. So yeah, the quest carries on. I don't know anything. I don't understand much. But one thing I do understand is that I am, through that experience and through having that experience and then now putting that into practice much more rigorously as I grow into this truth frequency, it is the only way. And then there'll be times when I catch myself lying to myself, lying to other people, and I need to fix that as quick as I can. And it's okay. It's okay. I can be kind to myself and try and forgive myself. And that's the other thing that the frequency of the pineal gland has, is forgiveness. That's what it desires, is to have that frequency of forgiveness. So anyway, that's today's talk. I'll just lean into this now and drop all the bullshit, drop all the planning and trying to go into a AI and say, hey, what do you think about this topic? And what should I say about this topic? Ugh. Not doing that anymore. I'm just going to get on here when I feel inspired to spit truth as I see it, as I understand it right now. So, yeah, if this landed, walk with me. Hopefully there's more soon.